On a cold winter night, a 21-year-old college student made a phone call that would become one of the most chilling moments in true crime history. Just hours later, she would disappear without a trace, leaving behind a crashed car, strange clues, and a mystery that remains unsolved even today. Her name was Maura Murray, and what happened to her still haunts investigators, journalists, and anyone who dares to dig deeper into her story. It was February 9th, 2004. Maura Murray was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts. On the surface, her life seemed normal, but something wasn't right. Earlier that day, she emailed her professors saying there had been a death in her family and that she needed to take a few days off. But here's the strange part. There was no death. No one in her family had passed away. It was a lie. And no one knows why she said it. That same day, Maura withdrew almost all the money from her bank account. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was enough to raise suspicion later. She also purchased alcohol from a nearby store, including vodka, Kahlua, and wine. Security footage captured her alone, calm and focused. Nothing about her behavior suggested panic, but it also didn't explain why she was preparing to leave so suddenly. After that, Maura packed some of her belongings into her car and started driving north. Her destination was never confirmed, but many believed she was heading toward New Hampshire or Vermont, places she had visited before. It seemed like she wanted to get away, but from what that question would soon become the center of a mystery that no one could solve. At around 7:30 p.m., everything changed. A local resident heard a loud crash outside his home on a quiet road in Haverhill, New Hampshire. When he looked outside, he saw a car had slid off the road and hit a snowbank. That car belonged to Maura. He quickly called the police, reporting the accident and the location. Before the police arrived, a school bus driver passed by and stopped to check on her. He later said that Maura appeared shaken but not seriously injured. He offered to call for help, but she refused. She told him she had already called roadside assistance. Something about that moment felt off, because there was no record of any such call. Just a few minutes later, police arrived at the scene. But what they found was deeply disturbing. Maura was gone, completely vanished. There were no footprints leading away from the scene in the snow, no signs of a struggle, and no clear direction she might have taken. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. Inside the car, investigators found several strange clues. There were empty alcohol bottles, her personal belongings, and a rag stuffed into the car's exhaust pipe. Some believed this was a trick to hide smoke from a damaged engine, but others thought it might suggest something more deliberate. The scene didn't look like a simple accident anymore. It felt staged, or at least unusual. As the investigation began, more questions started to surface. Why did Maura lie about a family emergency? Why did she suddenly leave without telling anyone? And most importantly, where did she go after the crash? Despite search teams, dogs, and extensive efforts, there was no trace of her in the surrounding woods. Some theories suggest that Maura ran away to start a new life. Others believe she may have been picked up by a passing driver, possibly someone with dangerous intentions. There's also a darker theory that she was already in trouble before the crash, and that night was part of a much bigger plan. Over the years, the case gained national attention. Journalists, podcasters, and even amateur investigators tried to piece together the truth. Each new theory added more mystery instead of answers. Her family never gave up hope, continuing to search for any clue that could explain what happened that night. One of the most haunting aspects of this case is the timing. From the moment of the crash to the arrival of the police, only a few minutes passed. That tiny window of time is all it took for Maura to vanish forever. No confirmed sightings, no solid leads, nothing that could explain how someone could disappear so quickly on a quiet road. Even today, more than 2 decades later, the disappearance of Maura Murray remains unsolved. Her story continues to raise chilling questions about trust, decisions, and the unknown dangers that can appear in a single moment. And maybe the most terrifying part of all is this: someone out there might know exactly what happened that night, but the truth has stayed hidden, waiting in the shadows, just like Maura herself.